Good morning! We're gonna talk about something a little bit different on this channel today, and that is Project Pan. I have a queue of products that I'm currently trying to work through, and I thought I would talk to you while I get ready for the day so you can see what I'm working through, how I'm working through it, and we can just discuss why starting Project Pan was important to me. Any product I talk about here, I'm not necessarily promoting. I think promoting projects while doing Project Pan is kind of an oxymoron. I'm trying to simplify my life. So I'm not talking about these things to be like, you should buy this. It's more so like, I'm trying to use through this. Starting with this Innisfree sunscreen. I got this for free in like a little trial pack, and it's amazing how quickly like the things that you get for free add up in your drawers and just like take up unnecessary space in your life. I've lived in my current apartment for 3 years, and I'm just noticing that I've accumulated so much stuff. Anyone who knew me in college would tell you that I was really intense person about minimalism and zero waste movement. I had a blog all about zero waste. I wrote my bachelor's thesis about the zero waste movement and the production of trash in the United States. And not using plastic, not having disposables was something that was really important for me in my life. And then I moved back to New York in 2021, and that just kind of went out the window for me. And then I would also say, just personally, I got really into trying products. I love beauty. I love beauty products. I'm actually almost about to hit pan on this concealer. That's a good feeling. And normally, I'm not necessarily a concealer all over my face kind of person. I just don't feel like doing more intense makeup today. So this is what we're getting. But basically, I moved back to New York and I got really into beauty products again and trying different beauty products. I grew up with a product loving mom, so I feel like it was always normalized in my household to, you know, try different things, to stock up on products while they were on sale, and that totally rubbed off on me. And then I got back into it when I came back to New York. I'm going to use a little bit of this Rare Beauty blush, again a sample that I have that I'm trying to use up, and that's fine. Like, there's not anything like necessarily wrong with like having a love of beauty products or a love of trying different things. I think for me personally, as you'll see, it just like got overwhelming, and I live in a small apartment and I just want the freedom of having more like space back in my life. And also, as you may know if you follow this channel for a while, I'm back in school now, and so I just don't have the extra budget to be like trying different makeup products and wasting products and not using them all. So for me, doing Project Pan was equally about decluttering and saving money, and so that's really what I'm doing it for. God, this is another thing, that the Tarte Shape Tape that I got for free, that I'm just like, or not for free, but like in a box of samples, and I'm like, I don't even know if I like this or would have bought it or use it. And something I'm noticing about Project Pan is this is like this tube, you know, you may think, oh, that's a tiny tube for however much this would retail for, like $20 or $30 in this economy. And you might think like, you know, oh, that's a lot of money for a product. And it is, no doubt. But something that Project Pan is making me realize is like how long it takes to get through certain products. This mini Aquaphor or CeraVe, I've had this for like 2 years. There's still CeraVe in it. You know, it just takes so long to actually go through a product. And so for me, it's just really making me think with a much like sharper inquiry about like, what products do I actually want to bring into my life? What products are actually worth my dollar? And what products are actually worth the time it's going to take me to use them up? Like, do I really want to spend the next 6 to 12 months using up this product? This NYX Brow Gel is not a product I would ever purchase again. I actually hate it. It's way too crunchy and globby and thick, but it does work, and I'm not going to throw it out and buy a new one for $10 when I have one that's perfectly fine right here. That's definitely one of the things about Project Pan that's making me think differently too, is like using up what you have being like the chicest and the most affordable thing you can do at any given moment. Just like makes way more sense to use up what you have before buying something new. For me, whenever I need to buy a new product in some of these categories, I'm gonna do a lot more research and take it more seriously and probably have a list going for a while of things that I want, things that I need, before I actually make a financial investment, because I feel like I'm really gonna understand more like how much it actually like takes to go through a product like this. I will say, liquid eyeshadow lovers, like, what's your secret for getting it to stay? Because I love the way this liquid eyeshadow looks, but I can never get it to stay. I'm just putting a little powder on top of it, and maybe you are supposed to top it with regular eyeshadow, but to me, I'm like, well, then what's the point of having a liquid eyeshadow if I need to top it with regular eyeshadow? Joah, Joah, liquid eyeliner in brown. I actually love this. But yeah, I just think Project Pan gives me a huge opportunity for financial awareness and self-awareness. And then to not buy things out of like aspirational usage. I aspire to be someone who uses a liquid eyeshadow. Guess what? I don't really know how to use it, you know? You know, there are still products I'm sure in my life I'm gonna wanna try over the years. But now that I'm 2 months into Project Pan, I started at the beginning of 2026, if I didn't say that before. This is the YSL mascara in brown, the Lash Clash, and I love this mascara. You know, just with the awareness of how long it actually takes to use up a product, how long it's gonna be in my arsenal, it's gonna make me a lot more like stringent about what's coming into my arsenal of products. That's been a huge thing that's shifted for me in doing Project Pan. Now, an e.l.f. lip gloss. And this is just like a nice, simple lip gloss, and I actually like really do love the way this feels on the lip. Sometimes they're too like sticky. I'm gonna top it with Revlon lip oil, and I actually love this product. I don't find it to be sticky. I do find it to be moisturizing, but the packaging sucks. Like, it leaks everywhere. Okay, that's like my basic makeup look from the drawer of products that I'm trying to use up before I move to any other products. All right, so now let me show you where I'm keeping everything that I'm trying to go through. All right, this is where it gets real. In these drawers and these drawers are where I have all of my makeup products. Now, these are the makeup products you just saw me use. These are the things I'm trying to use up before I buy any other product. And pretty much just one of each product in here for me to use up before I move on. So that's this drawer. The drawer above it is extra like skin products. So like foundations, tinted cover-ups, primers, powders, setting sprays, eyeshadow palettes, extra mascaras, small eyeshadow palettes, eyeliners, and other eyebrow gels. And then moving over to here, these are all my chapsticks. Like, hello? Like, honestly, the amount of chapsticks I have is what made me realize that I have a problem, because like one person simply does not need all of this chapstick. Like, this little thing alone is gonna take me like a year to go through. Now, of course, that's separate from my lipsticks. I had a family member who used to work at L'Oreal, and so I had access to the L'Oreal factory, and one of the brands that they own is Yves Saint Laurent. So I got all of these lipsticks at a massive discount. Do I need 16 lipsticks? Absolutely not. That's excessive. Probably 5 of these are in the same shade range, you know? So just, you know, learning lessons there. Oh, but that excludes lip glosses, lip tints, and pencils, which I barely even use lip pencils. Why do I own like 5 of them, you know? So there's a lot to go through here as well. Again, a lot of these were just like trying different things, but when I think about how much money I spent on this drawer alone, it makes me want to vomit. So it definitely is going to be worth my time to move through this, keep, you know, find the 1 or 2 products I'd like to repurchase or try, and then just really simplify what I use on my lips. I think this thing about Project Pan that's so like kind of like horrifying and illuminating is just realizing like how much I have of something that I barely use. I'm not a lipstick person. I'll put it on if I'm going out, if I remember to, but I'm never gonna remember to reapply chapstick, lip gloss, lipstick. I never remember to reapply it. I forget it's in my purse. It stays in there for weeks. I forget I have the shade, you know? So I really don't need the absolutely abhorrent amount of lip products I have, and I'm not even trying to be mean to myself about it. I understand how this happened. It just is like Awakening. So that's the like store for all the makeup I have, because I put the rest of my store under my bed in a clear plastic bin. So now let me take you through my store for all other products that are on my list of not repurchasing. The only other things that are not in this store would be candles. I'm not allowed to buy more candles until I use the rest of mine, but I keep those in a different spot at my house. Hand soap, I have like 5 hand soaps. I have 2 sinks in my house, kitchen and bathroom. I don't need that many hand soaps. So those I keep under my kitchen sink. And also cleaning supplies. I have enough cleaning supplies to run a cleaning company. I'm not allowed to buy more until I run through things. Okay, let's look at the rest of my store. Dun 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 dun. Yep. 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 Oh, you thought that was it? Nope. You thought that was it? That's it now, finally. Oh my goodness. I may end up giving some of this to like a women's shelter or something, because I don't think I can go through all of this, especially the sunscreens, before they expire. It's embarrassing to show all of this. I know it looks like chaos, but it is organized. This is like skincare stuff, hair care stuff, body care stuff. It just makes you realize how many things you buy out of aspiration. Like, am I the kind of person who needs a dry volume texture spray? I'm gonna forget I own that and never use it, you know? Conditioning hair masks. Love the idea of them. Do them like once a month, you know? And I have so many of these products to use up. How many mini CeraVes did I just show you? Don't worry, I also have a big one. You know, I'm gonna have CeraVe for the rest of my life at this moment. So there's just so many products like this that I wanted to try that I used about half of and just thought were okay. And I have a lot of those in here that like I need to finish at some point, but they're just not like the biggest priority. I have the rest of my skincare products in my bathroom, and those are the products I'm trying to use through first. And then once I go through things, I'm allowed to come through here and find what I need in here. Same with the sunscreens. I have a lot of these, and body mist as well. I have 1 body mist out and 1 perfume out that I'm trying to use through before I crack into any of these. And then these are like dental care products. This I actually got for Christmas from my mom. The floss and face masks that I just don't use that often, that once I go through the current rotation of face masks I have in my closet, then I can shop from here again. Okay, now that you know the true monster hiding under my bed of overconsumption, I've been doing Project Pan for almost 2 months now, and I want to talk about how it's going, what I've used through. Obviously, the biggest thing for me is just the awareness that's growing of how I got to this point to have this many products, and just feeling like truly how like wasteful it is, and just thinking of like all the money I spent accumulating these products, and if I could exchange these products for that money back right now, I would, and I'd probably have like $2 grand. So that's something for me that just is really inspiring, especially now that I'm back in school and I need to save money, is just to really shop the products I already have and see the objects I currently have as a resource, whether that's in my kitchen or in my linen closet in my home with all these products under my bed, using the resources I have before I buy new. It's a mentality that's taking me through like using up more of my pantry before I buy new groceries, to using up electronics before I buy new, using up candles, things like that, that it's just making me way more aware of what and how I consume, and if I'm bringing something new into my home, is there something I can exchange for it? Okay, with that in mind, let's talk about my empties. Again, I'm not trying to talk about any product as a way to say buy this or don't buy this. I just figure it's kind of fun to talk about products. I enjoy it, and talking about products from a lens of trying to not overconsume. I've gone through 12 products in the 2 months, which I'm really proud of. Couple of scrubs, one from Trader Joe's, which this was like fine. I wouldn't repurchase it again, but it was fine. 2 Lush products, a Lush scrub, which I honestly really didn't like, and a Lush face mask, which I also really didn't like. A bag of Epsom salts. These were fine from Amazon, but I wouldn't buy them again. I prefer the Teals ones. They actually smell like real like lavender extract. These just smell like perfume. For facial products, I've gone through 3 things. These two I was working to get through for like over a year. The Bioma Hydrating Serum and the Aveeno Calm and Restore. Really loved both of these, would repurchase both of them. This one really helped with calming my, like, the redness in my skin. This I also spent a long time going through. It's a True Botanicals facial oil. It was fine. True Botanicals obviously creates really nice products. I don't think I would purchase this again just because it's so expensive and I didn't like love it, but they make nice stuff. I went through a Lash Clash mascara by YSL. This is my tried and true. I love it so much. I would obviously repurchase this. And then the Orabella Window to Soul like tester. This smells insanely good. It's honestly one of the best perfumes I've ever smelled. But I had an issue with the tester. I have another tester of theirs where it leaks. Like, I probably used this a couple of times and half of it just fell out of the bottle, which to me is like a huge issue because I paid for this and barely got to use it. I also find that because it's made with essential oils, the scent just didn't last, which for the price, to me, it's like such a toss-up on if I would repurchase this again because it's one of the best things I've ever smelled, but it just doesn't last. And I think if you like more of an essential oil, like natural smell, and it's not gonna smell like disgusting perfume on you all day, this is a really nice option if you're not big into perfumes but want a nice scent. But I just probably wouldn't spend my money on it again. Oh, I forgot to talk about, I've gone through 2 candles, which I'm super proud of. Both of these were gifts. You know, making an agreement with myself to not buy new candles until I've gone through what I already have has been super transformative for my life because it's so easy for me to be out and see a candle and buy one. But it's really nice to hit pan on candles and see that I really can go through them. So I'm going to be curious to see how many candles I go through this year. In conclusion, I would love to know if Project Pan is something that's interesting for you to hear about, relatable if you're doing Project Pan as well, and enjoyed this check-in on my channel about Project Pan. I personally had fun making this and I feel like it's going to be really good accountability for me, but comment below if you'd like to see more videos about this and about trying to consume less as a millennial. I hope you've got a warm beverage and you're enjoying your day wherever you are. All right, I'll talk to you soon.